Welcome to my channel, Gadgets for Gentlemen. In this short video I'm going to unbox the SEIKO SNK809K2. I bought this watch for 75 euros from this website called Creation Watches. And this is how I received the watch. I went for the option to send this watch by airmail. So let's open this package. So a very plain package, but it works. So there we go. I've owned this watch in the past and I sold it later on. Now I saw this watch for 75 euros and yeah, I wanted to have it back in my collection. So here it is. So with the watch comes this guarantee papers. So as you can see, I just purchased this watch in May and here's the video. So there we have it. As you can see, the watch is not running yet. And this watch comes on this black canvas strap with a SEIKO buckle. And here we can see the reference number. So we're dealing here with a SEIKO automatic watch that has an exhibition case back. The watch is really a great entry-level automatic watch. I think it will please a broad or big audience because I think this watch is very, very pretty. It's very versatile. It has very classic dimensions. So let me just quickly run over the basics of this watch, throw it on my wrist and tell you whether, I think what are the good parts and the bad parts about this watch. So let's jump right into it. So I bought this watch for 75 euros. I think these days this watch is quite popular and prices they can spike. I bought this watch on Creation Watches, but you can also find this watch on Amazon, eBay, and all other kinds of websites. We're dealing here with a day and date display on the 3 o'clock position. The watch is 30 meters water resist and it comes on this black canvas strap with a width of 18 millimeters. Inside the case we can find the in-house SEIKO movement, the caliber 7S26 that features 21 jewels. It has a 40-hour power reserve and it has a frequency of 21,600 beats per hour. It is the same movement that also can be found in the SEIKO SKX series. So we have the same in-house SEIKO movement. And from my experiences with this SKX013, that movement is very reliable, it's very accurate and very robust. But the movement has a few shortcomings, perhaps, if that's how you want to call this, because the movement does not allow for hacking or hand winding. Here on the 4 o'clock position we have this very tiny crown, which you can use to set the date and day and the time. The date here on the 3 o'clock position I think is very extraordinarily beautiful because it has a black background, and I will go into some close-up images to really show you the details of this watch, including that beautiful dial that reminds me of both a field watch as well as a pilot's watch, a Flieger style layout. So I will show you some close-ups to really admire the beauty of this entry-level SEIKO watch. Yeah, so we're dealing with a thickness of about 10.6 millimeters. I get a diameter of about 37.3 millimeters. And luck to luck, I get about 42.5 millimeters. We're dealing here with a strap of 18 millimeters. And also this watch is very lightweight. Let me demonstrate. I have it here on the original canvas strap, and we're dealing here with only 62 grams. By comparison, I have the 013 on the original Jubilee bracelet, which is almost double the weight. The watch has applied Loom on the hands as well as on the indices, but the Loom, which basically means the watch will light up in the dark if the Loom is fully charged. The Loom is very weak. I mean, it works, but it's nothing compared to the dive watches from SEIKO. For example, the SKX series.
So in this short clip, I'm going to demonstrate the Loom of the SEIKO SNK809, which we have here on the right, versus the SEIKO SKX013, which is here on the left. As you can see, the Loom on the right on the SNK809 is quite weak, and the Loom of the 013 on the left is quite strong.
What else? Yeah, I'm not a fan of the original strap, and therefore I bought a few aftermarket straps. I bought these straps from Watch Gecko. These are regular NATO straps, and I bought these NATO straps with a brushed buckle to really match the brushed or satin finish case. You can see that the case back is polished. It really shines, but the top of the case, you can see that this part is really brushed. It looks very matte, and therefore I like the keepers, the hardware on these NATO straps to match that look. I think that's the only great thing about this strap, the buckle and the two keepers. More or less match the case, so that's at least a good thing. This watch also comes in a version that has a green strap and a green dial. This is the SNK805. There is a version with a beige strap and a beige dial. The reference number is 803. And we have a version with a beautiful blue strap and a blue dial. The reference is 807. I went for the black dial simply due to the fact I have here a beautiful olive green NATO strap, again with brushed hardware. I think the black dial really is very versatile, so this will look very pretty on a variety of straps, leather straps and NATO straps. The crystal that we can find on this watch is a hardlex crystal, which is a hardened version of a mineral crystal. So this is not sapphire, and it will scratch over time perhaps. My experiences with hardlex crystals is excellent. I have the 013 here on the right, and I don't notice any scratches on the dial, and I take care of my watches. I don't bang around with it, but still no scratches. So I think the hardlex mineral crystal, you don't really need to worry a lot about scratches. What I do remember as a negative point of this watch is the tiny crown that I mentioned. Even with my tiny hands, sometimes it's quite hard to operate the crown. Great thing again is that the crown won't dig into your skin. So this watch allows for a lot of flexibility. But setting the time, as you can see, really takes some effort. It's not as easy compared to having a watch with like a big crown, which is easier to grip. Okay, so another negative point about this watch, in my opinion, is that water resistance, 30 meters. I think that's not a lot. Perhaps this watch could go deeper than 30 meters, but yeah, it's written here that the watch is only 30 meters water resist, and I think that's not very practical. Maybe you take this watch to the beach, if you go for a swim. I'm not sure if it will survive a swim. I think it would be much more versatile, for example, with this SEIKO dive watch that is 200 meters water resist. I'm not a diver myself. I don't use this watch for diving, but it gives me some peace of mind that if this watch gets wet, it will survive. The SNK809, on the other hand, when I walk in the rain with this watch, I'm pretty sure it will survive. If I wash my hands, pretty sure it will survive, but I'm not sure if I go for a swim or any other activity that it will survive. So yeah, if this version was there with a higher level water resistance, then I'll be quite happy actually. Talking about that point, there's a few other watches that I quickly want to shout out. The SNZ F17, SNZ G15, as well as the SNZ H55. All of these watches are great options in this price category, and it's a matter of personal taste as well as specifications that you seek for. Yeah, if you don't like the original strap, just go for the cheapest option and buy yourself a nice aftermarket strap. So let me quickly throw it on the wrist. For your information, I have 6.3 inches wrists. What I do recall of this canvas strap, it's not very comfortable. That's what I remember. It's quite tough. And also what I remember, let me try to bring it a bit closer, is these holes in the strap over time will damage. They will tear. And also these keepers are not very comfy. You see, when you pull back the strap, these keepers kind of damage the canvas strap. So I'm not a fan of this strap, but I must say it looks quite nice. I like the look of this strap and how the keepers and the buckle match the case. I think it looks excellent. It's very easy to wear this watch under shirts, and it's very cool to wear this watch sportive with a t-shirt or with like a polo shirt. Overall, I think this is really a beautiful watch. I told you a few points, negative points. Again, I don't like the strap. It's not bad, but yeah, I think it looks much better on a NATO strap and feels much more comfy on a NATO strap. I think it's too bad that the water resistance is only 30 meters. Loom is quite weak, but I don't know what you can expect at this price point. The movement does not hack or hand wind, but again, what do you expect at this price point? But I really love the fact that you have an exhibition case back. especially if this may be your first automatic watch. You have in-house very solid automatic movement for the price of a quartz watch, really. I mean, most quartz watches that I know are far more expensive than this €75 in-house automatic watch. I mean, I think this is an insane value proposition. I also told you that the crown is a bit on the smaller side of things. I would have preferred if the crown was a bit bigger in order to better be able to set the time and set the date. I think I've done way too much talking in this video. Now let's just admire the beauty of this watch and share with you some close-ups. So again, here we can see the beautiful black dial. The dial is a bit glossy, not matte. Here at the 6 o'clock position we can read the 7S26 movement. And at the 6 o'clock position it reads automatic 21 jewels. At the 12 o'clock position it reads SEIKO 5. The SEIKO logo and the 5 shield have been applied. And we can see the Loom dots, which are very, very small. They have been applied. The second hand has this beautiful red pip. And the hour and minute hand are a bit Flieger style shaped. At the 12 o'clock position we have this beautiful triangle. And at the 3 o'clock position we have this gorgeous date wheel. We can see here that the second language of this date wheel is Arabic. Let me show you how easy it is to change the date. So we have the crown here at the 4 o'clock position. And as you can see here with the crown, there's a little space here where you can put your nail and unpop the crown. So I use that little notch to put my nail in there. Now the crown is in the second position. First position is for date. Second position is for time. So let me go to midnight. You can see that the date just changed, and now the day changes. The date changed. Let me bring it back to 6 a.m. And now I bring the crown back to the neutral position, bring it back to the first position. If I go up, I can change the date by 1 day. So let me see, for example, here we're dealing with Monday the 10th. So let me go up to the 10. You can see changing the date is very easy. So this is 10. Now when I go down with the crown, I can change the day of the week. And now I went from Arabic to English. So Monday, that's correct. Now change the time. I put it back to the second position. And it's like 1 p.m. or so. So this is how easy it is. I put it back to the neutral position. Beautiful dial. Again, we have this polished or satin brushed look of the case. We have a beautiful exhibition case back where we can see the automatic movement. There's a sticker reading Made in China. We have a steel case back. Here we can see the movement in action. And here we can see the rotor when we rotate the crown. think very beautiful. Again, we have this canvas strap, black. We have these keepers that kind of match the case. We have this SEIKO buckle, stainless steel. That's it. Here we can see these holes, and as I mentioned, they really tear quickly. So here we have it on the wrist once more. Let me conclude by saying that I think for 75 euros, this is really, I think, an excellent watch. Can't go wrong with this watch. I think it makes a great gift. And if you want to save up some money, then you can go for some alternatives. I can highly recommend the SEIKO dive watches. But dive watches usually are much bigger. Well, maybe the 013 is a bit of an exception. This is a 38mm version. But most dive watches are really huge. So if you want to have something a bit more discreet, this size is your thing. Beautiful piece. Really can't go wrong. If you have any questions, then please leave them down below, or get in contact with me on my Instagram page. I hope this video has been interesting for you. Please like my video, subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to having you here once again. Have a great day and see you soon.